I am 29 years old, grew up with a single mom, Martha, 54. My dad left when I was 3, and she loves to remind everyone that she sacrificed everything for me. To be fair, she did work hard. But she also weaponized it. Anytime I wanted to do something for myself as a teenager, sports, friends, normal stuff, it turned into, after everything I've done for you, you're really going to say no to your own mother? I was the responsible one in our extended family. If something needed fixing, carrying, moving, babysitting, or paying for, just this once, somehow my name got mentioned. Aunt's fridge broke. Call me. Cousin needs a ride to the airport at 4 a.m. Call me. Grandma needs someone to stay overnight at her house. Call me. Fast forward, I busted my ass, went to community college, worked full-time, and after years of saving, I finally bought a small 3-bedroom house in a decent neighborhood. It's nothing crazy, but it's mine. I live there with my girlfriend, Sophie, 27. Important, my mom has never been good with money. She chronically overspends, forgets to pay bills, and then plays the victim when eviction or shut-off notices show up. But she always lands on her feet because someone in the family bails her out. This time, that someone was supposed to be me. The temporary stay, about 6 months ago, Mom called me crying. They're kicking me out. My landlord is a monster. I have nowhere to go. You're my only child. I thought you loved me. I asked questions. Turns out she'd been late on rent repeatedly, spent money on vacations and treating herself instead of catching up, and the landlord finally had enough. I told her, you can stay with us for 2 weeks. Just until you find a new place. But I need you to understand, this isn't permanent. And you cannot invite people over without asking. This is my and Sophie's home. She sniffled and said, of course, baby. I'm not stupid. Just until I get back on my feet. Famous last words. The first week was okay. Annoying, but okay. She took over the living room TV, rearranged my kitchen cabinets so they make sense, and made passive-aggressive comments like, wow, look at you, big man with a house. Must be nice when your mother sacrificed her whole youth. But I could deal. The second week, she stopped looking for apartments. Instead, she spent all day on Facebook, watching TV and complaining about how nobody helps family anymore. One night, I overheard her on the phone with my Aunt Lisa. Oh honey, you can always stay with us, we have plenty of room. My son's house is basically our family home anyway. I froze in the hallway. Our family home? I walked in and said, what does that mean, Mom? She waved me off, relax, I'm just saying if Lisa needs a place for a few days, she can crash. We're family. I said, no. They need to ask me first. You're a guest here, Mom. You don't get to offer my house to other people. She gave me that offended look she's perfected over decades. Wow. I raised such a selfish son. That was the first red flag I ignored. My house turns into a hotel. Weekend number 3 is when things really went off the rails. I came home from a long shift to find 2 people I barely recognized in my kitchen, cooking like they lived there. There were suitcases by the door. My dog was shut in my bedroom looking stressed. Hi. I said. One of them turned around. It was my cousin, Tyler, and his girlfriend. We're not close. They live 2 states away. Tyler grinned, yo, dude. Your mom said we could crash here for the weekend. The drive was brutal, man. I turned to see my mom sitting at the table, sipping coffee like this was totally normal. I asked, slowly, how did you get in? My mom shook her key ring. My key ring. You gave me a key, remember? I had given her a key for emergencies, not for surprise guests. I pulled her aside into the hallway and quietly lost it. What the hell, Mom? You can't just hand out keys or tell people they can stay here. This is my house. You promised this was temporary for you. She rolled her eyes. They're only here for the weekend. Stop being so dramatic. You have 3 bedrooms and barely use them. It's nice to have family around. You should be grateful people want to visit you. Sophie came home to see the chaos and was furious, but she tried to be polite. Tyler and his girlfriend were actually decent people, the problem wasn't them. It was my mom using my house like a free hotel. That weekend, we had 4 adults in the kitchen, 2 extra people in the shower, and my fridge raided. My utilities, my groceries, my space. On Sunday night, I told my mom, 2 weeks are up. You need to start packing. We'll help you find a room to rent, but you can't live here. She gave a dramatic gasp. Wow. Throwing your own mother out. I never thought my son would be so heartless. Maybe I should just sleep on a bench. I guess that's what I get for raising a selfish man. It turned into tears, guilt, and a migraine. I let it slide one more week. Big mistake. The Facebook post that broke me a few days later, my coworker sends me a screenshot from Facebook with a laughing emoji. It's my mom's post, so proud of my baby boy. He bought a beautiful house and told the whole family that they always have a place to stay when they're in town. Family over everything. Then the comments, "Aw, so sweet. We'll definitely take you up on that, we've been wanting to visit your city. We're driving through in July, we might crash for a week or 2. I stared at it at my desk, absolutely stunned. I never said that. I went home and confronted her immediately. Me, why did you tell everyone they can stay here? Mom, because you're being blessed, and when God blesses you, you share. Stop hoarding. It makes you look greedy. Me, you're turning my house into a free hotel. Mom, smiling slightly, it's not a hotel, baby, it's a family home. You wouldn't have this house without me. I carried you for 9 months. Sophie stepped in and said, calmly, Martha, this is our home. We pay the mortgage. We never offered it as an open-door hotel to your whole family. My mom turned to her and snapped, stay out of this. This is between me and my son. I said, no, it's between all of us. You either respect that this is our home with our rules, or you can't stay here. She folded her arms. I'm not leaving. You're not putting your own mother on the street. You're just mad people like me and want to visit me. That's when I realized she truly believed that my house was her resource to manage. The last straw about a week later, I was on an early morning shift. Sophie had a day off. Around 7 a.m., I get a text from her, why are there strangers in our living room? I called her immediately. She whispered into the phone, your mom let Aunt Lisa and her 2 grandkids in at 6:30 a.m. They're laying on the couch like they're moving in. Your mom told them they could stay as long as they need, while they look at apartments nearby. I'm in the bedroom with the door locked because I woke up to a child standing in our doorway. I saw red. I left work early, drove home, and walked into my own house like a stranger. There were blankets spread out in the living room, bags everywhere, shoes in the hallway, kids' cartoons blaring on the TV. My dog was hiding under the table. Aunt Lisa tried to hug me, thank you so much for letting us stay, sweetheart. My mom beamed proudly, like she'd orchestrated a grand surprise. See? I told you he wouldn't mind. He's such a good son. I took a deep breath and said, loud enough for everyone, actually, I do mind. No one asked me. No one cleared this with me or Sophie. You all need to pack up your things and leave today. Aunt Lisa looked embarrassed. Oh. I thought you knew. Your mom said, I know what she said. She lied. My mom's face twisted instantly. You're not really doing this. They have nowhere else to go. Stop making a scene in front of the children. I said, they are adults. They can book a hotel or go back home. They are not staying here. This is not a free hotel. You've overstepped every boundary I set. She got right up in my face. You ungrateful little brat. Without me, you'd still be in some crappy apartment. You owe me. This house is for the family. I said the words I never thought I'd say, if you can't respect that this is my home, you can't live here. Pack your things. You're leaving too. She laughed in disbelief. You're kicking your own mother out. Really? Over a few nights on the couch? I said, yes. I'm done. I gave Aunt Lisa the number of a reasonably cheap motel nearby, offered to pay for 1 night so they had time to figure out a plan. She accepted, clearly mortified. My mom kept ranting, calling me cruel, heartless, brainwashed by my girlfriend. When Aunt Lisa and the kids left, I told my mom, "You have until tomorrow afternoon. I'll help you move your things into storage if you want, but you're not living here anymore. If you show up uninvited or bring other people again, I'll treat it like trespassing." She stormed into her room and slammed the door so hard a picture frame fell off the wall. That night, I barely slept. I grew up hearing family over everything so much that it felt like I was doing something evil. But if I don't stop this now, this will never end. The next day, I stuck to it. She screamed, cried, begged, then switched to icy silence. I helped her put her stuff into a storage unit and dropped her at a motel. I even paid for 3 nights so she had time to make a plan. As she got out of the car, she turned and said, "You'll regret this when I'm dead and gone." Then she slammed the door. Now my phone is blowing up with texts from cousins and extended family. "How could you do that to your own mother? She said you threw her out on the street like garbage. You're disgusting. Family takes care of family." Some people haven't asked for my side at all, they just assume I'm the villain. So. Reddit, AITA for kicking my own mom out after she tried to turn my house into a free hotel for the entire family. So, first things first, I changed the locks. I installed a doorbell camera. I sent a group text to my extended family, calmly explaining what actually happened. I basically wrote, "Mom has been staying with us temporarily." Without our permission, she invited multiple people to stay, handed out keys, and posted our home as an open-door place on Facebook. That's not okay. We set boundaries, she ignored them. I did not throw her on the streets, I paid for a motel and offered help finding housing. Our home is not a hotel. Future visits must be discussed with me and Sophie directly. Reactions were mixed. Some cousins apologized and admitted that my mom had framed it as, "My son said you can always stay with us." Others doubled down, calling me selfish. Then came the fun part. About 2 weeks after she left, on a Sunday afternoon, our doorbell camera notified us. We checked the feed and saw, my mom. With 2 suitcases. And a random older lady I'd never seen before. She rang the bell non-stop for about 2 minutes straight. I answered through the camera, "Hi Mom. Why are you here?" She said, loud and dramatic, knowing the camera was on, "I'm ready to come home now. And this is my friend Donna. Her place had a mold problem, so she'll be staying too." I swear I felt my blood pressure spike from the living room. I said, as calmly as possible, "You don't live here anymore. You know that. You're not coming in, and neither is your friend." She scoffed. "Stop being ridiculous. Open the door. We're not sleeping outside." I replied, "If you need help finding a shelter or a room, I can send you links. But I'm not letting you move back in." She started yelling about how I was abusing her, how she'd raised a monster, how she'd tell everyone what a horrible son I am. Her friend looked uncomfortable and kept saying, "Maybe we should go, Martha." I told her, "If you don't leave, I'm going to call the non-emergency police line and let them know you're trespassing." That finally did it. She shouted, "You're dead to me," and stormed off. Less than an hour later, my aunt texted, "What did you say to your mother?" She just showed up at my place crying. I sent her the doorbell footage. Her response was, short, "Wow. I didn't know she'd gone that far. Let me talk to her." Since then, my mom has gone mostly silent. No calls, just occasional passive-aggressive memes on Facebook about ungrateful children and parents aren't retirement homes, but children owe their parents everything. I'm sad, but also, it's peaceful. For the first time ever, my house feels like my house. So, remember how I mentioned I was always the responsible one? Turns out my younger half-brother, Dylan, 24, was always the fun one, or, as Reddit would call it, the golden child. He lived about an hour away with roommates and didn't have much space, but he's always been closer to my mom emotionally. He believed her dramatic version of events at first and sent me a long text a while back about, "You didn't have to go that far. You could have been more understanding. She's our mom." Well, karma came fast. About a month ago, my mom moved in with him. 1 bedroom in a cramped apartment with 2 roommates. At first, his Instagram stories showed them having wine nights, watching movies, healing their relationship, and a few thinly veiled jabs about some people abandoning family. Then, the tone changed. Last week, Dylan called me. Not texted. Called. That never happens unless it's serious. He sounded exhausted. Dude. I'm sorry. I get it now. Apparently, within a few weeks of moving in with him, she rearranged the entire kitchen and refused to put things back. She invited a friend to stay a few nights without telling his roommates. She took over the living room TV from 7 a.m. to midnight. She told his roommates they should chip in more for groceries because she was cooking for everyone, even when she was using their food. She gave out his address to relatives looking to visit the city, and told them, "You can stay with Dylan, he has space." One of his roommates finally lost it after coming home to find a random cousin on their couch and a pot of food made with their groceries. The roommates gave him an ultimatum: either his mother leaves or he does. He tried to talk to her, and she freaked out, calling him ungrateful and repeating the exact lines she used on me: "After everything I've done for you, family is supposed to stick together, you're seriously choosing strangers over your own mother?" He told her she needed to find another place. She said she'd think about it, and then proceeded to sulk and slam things around for days. On the phone, he said, "I honestly don't know how you dealt with this as long as you did. I thought you were overreacting. You weren't. For the first time, I didn't feel like I was crazy. We talked for a long time. I told him I loved Mom, but love doesn't mean letting someone walk all over you and your partner. It doesn't mean handing them the keys to your life and letting them run wild." He actually apologized for judging me. That meant a lot. As of now, my mom is apparently staying with a friend from church for a while. She's still posting dramatic stuff online but less directly about me and more general, children abandoning parents memes. I haven't reached out. I missed the version of her that existed in my head, the mom I wish I had. But I don't miss the chaos. A lot has happened. First major thing, Sophie and I got engaged, and we just found out she's pregnant. I didn't plan to tell my mom right away, but my aunt let it slip during a phone call, and it spread through the family grapevine in about 15 minutes. Classic. 3 days later, I got a long text from my mom. It wasn't an apology. Not really. But it was softer. She wrote, "I heard you're having a baby. I'm happy for you. I know you're still angry with me. I'm not perfect, but I'm your mother, and I'd like to be in my grandchild's life. Maybe we could talk." If this had happened a year ago, I would have immediately agreed and folded. But after everything, I knew I needed to protect my peace, my home, and my future kid. So I offered to meet her in a public place, a coffee shop. No swing by the house, no family dinner at my place. She showed up looking smaller. Not physically, just deflated. Less fire, more tired. It was uncomfortable. We made small talk, then I said, "I'm willing to have a relationship with you. But only if you respect my boundaries. That means you don't live with us. You don't invite people to my home. You don't give out my address or keys. You don't show up unannounced. If you break those rules, you don't get access to me, Sophie, or the baby. I'm serious." She teared up, but not dramatically like before, just quiet. She said, "I never meant to hurt you. I wanted family around. I hate being alone." I said, "Wanting family around doesn't give you the right to control my house or my life." She nodded, but I could see the stubbornness in her eyes. She said, "I don't agree with everything you did, but I don't want to lose you. I'll try. I can't promise to be perfect." I said, "I'm not asking for perfect. I'm asking for respect." We talked for about an hour. I didn't expect a fairy tale reconciliation. I still don't. I don't completely trust her, and I'm not going to pretend everything's fine. But we set some concrete rules: visits will be short and planned in advance, no overnights until I feel 100% safe with that idea, and maybe never, no extra guests, no free hotel ever again. I told her, point blank, "If you try to pull what you did before, using my house as a crash pad for the entire family, I will go no contact. Completely. And I won't feel guilty about it." She actually said, "I understand. Time will tell if that's true." For now, we're on supervised, cautious contact. I send her occasional updates about the pregnancy. She sends baby name suggestions I will absolutely never use, but it's something. My house is calm. My relationship is stronger. My brother and I are closer than we've ever been, bonded by the shared experience of, wow, mom is, a lot. Am I still haunted by those little guilt voices? Absolutely. I grew up in a culture where good children give everything and never say no. But every time I start to waver, I remember waking up to strangers in my own living room, my dog hiding, my girlfriend locked in our bedroom because she was scared. I think of my future kid and the kind of home I want them to grow up in, one where love doesn't mean being a doormat. So, Reddit, after everything that's happened, I don't really wonder if I'm the asshole anymore. I know I'm not. I'm just a guy who finally realized that family doesn't mean you get to treat my life like a free hotel. It means we respect each other's walls, and each other's doors. Thanks for listening to my story. Let me know which part of it was the most interesting or satisfying for you.